Tiffany Almazan here with the Voice of Joy. I am happy to be coming to you on another Sunday evening with a great topic for our episode. At least I think so anyway. So whether you catch this live or you're catching it later on the replay, please say hi so that I know you were here. And of course, likes and hearts are always appreciated too. So what I wanted to share with you today is something that's been a personal experience, and I hope that you will find some value in it as well. So joy, which I'm all about, Life of Joy, right, is my brand, and it is a choice. I believe that, and I'm sure that's something that you can agree on too. And being that it's a choice, it requires awareness and constant self-care to make sure that you are able to maintain that state of being joyful. Right? And so lately I've noticed that I have been weighed down a bit. I've been taking on too much of the noise around me, and I realized it wasn't really my energy, it was others that I was taking on, and I was trying to figure out why. And I'm like, what am I doing? I mean, I'm very selective about the content that I put in. I don't watch all the negative news on TV. I don't subscribe to podcasts that just stir the pot. You know, some people like those. That's not me. So I wasn't doing those. I don't engage with people on Facebook who are talking about negative things. Like, some people just ask a negative question. What is your biggest pet peeve? Or could you believe this person cut me off? Who cuts you off? What do you do about, you know, I'm just like, all those things. I'm like, no, I don't engage in those. I don't respond to those. I just keep scrolling. I don't call those thumb stopping posts for me. I just, keep going on Facebook, right? So I'm like, where was this coming from? And one thing that really hit me the other day was that it is partially coming from, and maybe a whole lot coming from, I don't know, but I'm reading things on social media because I'm a social person and I love connecting with people. I love meeting new people. I like knowing what's going on in your life. And I've been reading a lot of posts, and though I'm not engaging with them, I read them. And so I'm taking on that energy when you read enough of them that are not positive and happy and really over the top kind of happy. I mean, they're not even, maybe even negative outright. They're just kind of sneaky about it too. Just kind of, life is not great, or they're just kind of complaining about a few little things, and it really starts to slide by, or it was starting to slide by my radar. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. So I just stopped reading those. So I really kind of need to go through and see who it is that I have been engaging with as to why I'm seeing those kind of posts in my news feed, because I don't recall them always being there. So I must have been engaging unconsciously and attracting more of that to me, right? So I don't want to do that. Also on, Facebook Messenger and texting and phone calls, so many people, I don't know if they have the same filter on their comments anymore. When you're not face-to-face with people, I think you feel like you either, you misread things in words as well, but there's a very lack of engagement out there that I've been feeling with people having that real care and concern for other people. And so one thing I learned is I'm going to stop reading. I'm going to stop reading those things and stop taking in other people's energies, and I'm going to be very selective with who I reach out to really kind of go through and see who are the people that are supportive to me. And it really hit home for me recently was a live stream I watched by Sophie Uliano, if I'm saying her name right. She's on Facebook. She's got her fan page. She's very health conscious, and I came across her because of some recipes that she was somehow I got linked and was sharing about some really healthy stuff. And I thought, ooh, wow, she's eating how I want to eat, more of a plant-based, non-meat diet. And I'm like, oh, this is really cool. So I want to check this out. And I really like how she comes across. And so I started watching some of her videos. And she did this one live stream, and she was talking about the importance of having people around you in your immediate circle. She said, who is actively supporting you, and how important it was to surround yourself with those people, to really build yourself up, to be able to kind of stop some of that negative self-talk that we do with ourselves and feeling, not good enough and not as successful as we want to be, and all that, those comments that we say to ourselves. And that really made me stop and think, because I'm like, there are people who aren't actively being negative or not actively unsupporting, if that makes sense, who are trying to hinder me, stop me. There are haters out there, of course, it's like, but those are kind of obvious, it's like, but who on the other side is actively supporting you? And it made me really stop and think about it. Well, what does that mean? So I thought, it made me think about a cheerleader. Like, what does a cheerleader do? A cheerleader supports their team regardless. Cheerleaders cheer every good play and are there for their team 100% of the time and are active in showing that support, right? And so who does that for you? And what does that really look like? What does that look like? So for me, and I'd love to hear some ideas on this, but some of the things that I do to actively support people is, if it's using a product of yours that I love with a company that you represent, I'm going to share about it. I'm going to tell everybody that this is the product I'm using. I'm going to endorse you, and I'm going to tag you in it. I'm going to share the post. I am going to give a testimonial about it. I will post a picture of me wearing it or using it, or something. I will share about it. I spread it, because I feel that there is not a scarcity of people in the world. There is an abundance out there, and having that abundance mentality, I just want to share and spread the word to everyone. It's a simple thing to do, is to, to share and to like and to comment, and to tag people and endorse them, give good feedback. So that's what I do. What do you do? What do you do to actively support people, to be a cheerleader for somebody? Do you really ask people how you can help them? Do you ask them, and are you sincerely concerned, how is their business going? What challenges are they having? Share ideas that you have to help them, get better. I thought about this, like, how many people really ask me how I'm doing? How is my business? And it's, it's just more than a cursory, hey, how's it going for? Oh yeah, oh my gosh, it's great. I'm having the time of my life. It is so much fun. And then boom, that's it. Well, don't you want to know more? I think that's important, to actually be really concerned about people and ask more than just those surface questions. So who has your back? I would suggest that you really think about it and start looking through your phone and on social media and seeing who is actively doing some of those things for you. Who shows up for you when you're having an event, or you're needing a body in a chair, or you're putting something on and you need that presence there. Who shows up for you at those times? Who shows up for you when you're having a bad day and you need someone that you can just build you up, and not commiserate with you and tell you should quit, but the person who's going to build you up and support you. Who is that go-to person that you can call for that? Who gives you referrals? Who knows who you are looking for? Who knows who is a good candidate for the product or the service or the business that you're involved in, and who can connect you? Who's a good connector for you? Who refers people to you? So as you start to think about it and think of those names, I suggest that you jot down their names and think then, those are special people. Those are wonderful people, and they are going out and beyond what the average person does, and to be that cheerleader for you. So are you appreciative? Do you recognize that effort that they are putting out? Do you say thank you? Do you return the favor and ask, how can I help you? Is there a product I can try for you? Is there something I can share? Is there something I can do? What help could I give you? Is there some brainstorming ideas I have that I can share with you personally? So take really good care of those cheerleaders that are working for you as a cheerleader, and by you then returning the favor, because we need more cheerleaders. And if you don't know of anybody you're being a cheerleader for, you can be my cheerleader. I don't mind. I will tell you exactly what I need. But in my Chicks Connect Mastermind chapter, one of my chicks there is an amazing financial yogi, and you've got to watch her on Instagram too. She's like really cool. But she had the suggestion that we all have 5 lines, 5 sentences, 5 types of people that would be a great referral for us, or 5, keywords that you might, keep your ear out for when you're about. If someone says that, it's like, ooh, I need to connect them with Tiffany. So I thought that was a great idea, and we really haven't gone forward with it yet. I'll be honest, just one thing after another has come up, and with summer travel. But I think that's something that's a great idea, and I really do want to calling that out, that's something that I want to reach out to everyone in my Chicks Connect chapter and say, what are those 5 for you? How can I best be a great referral source for you? How do I know who to connect you with? There's so many people out there. I may not be a good candidate for what you're offering, but I may know lots of people who are. So help me to know who that good referral is for you. That's one tip for you. One I'm personally also going to implement. Let's see, what else? So you want to be a good cheerleader. You're looking for your own cheerleaders to surround yourself with. Another thought I wanted to share with you is sometimes you may have to actually ask people if they are looking for some support. It may need to start with you as to how can I support you? What are you looking for? And someone may tell you no, and then it's what can you do if they're just flat out telling you no? But you've asked the question, so start there, and don't how to say it? Not necessarily prejudge, but don't dismiss people that are happy, thinking that they don't need your support, that they don't need a cheerleader. I'm reading this awesome book. I highly suggest for you guys to all read. It is by Gretchen Rubin. Title of the book is The Happiness Project. And this book is very entertaining, very transparent, very authentic, very real kind of book, sharing her personal life and the journey she went on for a year to not being a miserable person or very negative, already having a great life, being super successful, already has changed her careers, doing what she's passionate about, and yet feels like life is slipping by, and could she be happier? Could she raise the bar, take it to the next level? And this is her story of how she spent a year doing that. Very systematic. I love how organized she is. She wrote another book that I read as well about your habits, which is really interesting. And she's made some good comments in here. So one thing she is talking about, I wanted to share with you, is really kind of my point as to why just because someone is happy doesn't mean that they don't need a cheerleader too. So here's what she says. Hopefully it makes sense because it's kind of in the middle of the chapter, and I've read the whole thing, but hopefully you'll get what I'm trying to say from this chapter. So the belief that unhappiness is selfless and happiness the belief that unhappiness is selfless and happiness is selfish is misguided. It's more selfless to act happy. It takes energy, generosity, and discipline to be unfailingly lighthearted, yet everyone takes the happy person for granted. No one is careful of his feelings or tries to keep his spirits high. He seems self-sufficient. He becomes a cushion for others. And because happiness seems unforced, that person usually gets no credit. I know a fortunate few people, such as my father, who seem naturally sunny-tempered. Now I wonder how effortless this really is. And that hit home for me because it's the point that I probably don't make in these Voice of Joy episodes or even in general, because I'm all about being happy and I'm all about being joyful and making that choice and choosing what to focus on. But again, because it's a choice, doesn't mean that it doesn't take work. And I think that's part of my whole little realization recently of the extra self-care that I need to be giving to myself and really limiting the noise that's out there even more so, and actively surrounding myself with cheerleaders. So I'm looking for cheerleaders. I'm looking for people who I can actively support and that they can support me in return. And I'm open for whatever ways that needs to be done or can be done. So if you've got ideas on how do you support your friends that you are being a cheerleader for, what do you do for them? I would love some ideas, and I'm looking for more people, so, and I'm not limiting it to unhappy people. I don't mean to say it that way. But just because you already appear to be uber successful or very happy or have everything in place doesn't mean that you don't have your own struggles and your own challenges that you're going through. So I really love what the paragraph that she mentioned in this book about that, and it's like, do you really take happy people for granted and think that, oh, it's so easy for them? They don't have any struggles. They're just always happy. It's like, well, I can't help them. What do they need? They're good all on their own. You take it for granted. But do you know that it takes effort to be joyful like that? It takes work to choose to look on the bright side every time, to have the positive mindset. And that can be draining when you're around people who are not also lifting you up. So my suggestion is really to carefully choose who you are surrounding yourself with, so that you pick the cheerleaders. And if you don't have enough cheerleaders in your life, you got to go out and find some more. So anyone who's listening who's got tips and suggestions on how to find more, great. For me, I'm just going to start asking people. I'm going to start asking people to, try my new product, to come to an event that I'm doing, to refer people to me, to say, hey, this is who I'm looking for. Who do you know? I'm going to ask people for a testimony. People have been using the product. Say, hey, can you give me a shout out? I'm going to start asking, and I will see the response that I get back, and it will help me determine, who are the people that then I want to partner with, and we can help support each other and make the world a better place, right? Hi, Ellen. The book that I was talking about is awesome. The Happiness Project by Gretchen Rubin. And she is also a contributing columnist, maybe that's the word, columnist for the Live Happy magazine as well. And she wrote a really good book. I don't know that it says in here what her other books were. I know she wrote some biographies on Winston Churchill and 40 Ways to Look at JFK, but that's not the one. She wrote this one about habits. I don't see it listed here as also by her yet, but it was a really good book. Better Than Before, I think might have been the name of that one. Really good book on your habits and how to create new habits and what kind of person that you are, what kind of tendency do you have, the 4 different tendency traits that people have as far as their habits go, and so really how to work with that. So it was a really good book. But this one, I'm not quite finished yet. I've got this much left to go, but it's been really fascinating. I think I'm on August. She's in it by month as to her practice and her experiment for creating more happiness in her own life. And really, it hits home the point about joy and choosing it in your life, because she's very honest. She's really kind of an ornery person sometimes. I think we all are. But how she goes about it really brings home clear that, it's a conscious choice day by day, and it's not an easy thing to do. It makes you feel better, makes you be happier, and it makes the people around you happier too. But it's definitely some work. It definitely takes time and effort and energy. So it's been interesting as she's setting up each month with specific goals that she's targeting. So it's been a fabulous read for me. I highly recommend it. And cheerleaders, go get them, go find them, and share your tips on how you are a supportive cheerleader, or ways to find more cheerleaders. I don't know. It's kind of I've got this idea that I want more cheerleaders, but I'm not sure how to find them. I'm going to start asking. But, who do I put yourself around? What kind of events do you go to? What kind of groups are you in? Do you just, I don't know. So I'm open for suggestions on that too. Would love to hear what you guys have to say about it. And next week, my topic is going to be, I don't have a title for it just yet, but it's going to be about these 3 days that I spent on my trip up to Oregon. So it's going to be something lessons learned in Oregon. It was a fantastic trip, but just a lot more realizations came to me, and some cool things that I wanted to share with you. And hopefully, again, that they will be of value to you and what you're doing. So that is my episode for today. I hope you guys had fun watching it. Thank you for stopping by. If you want more joy in your life, I can suggest that you join my group, Life of Joy Tribe. Just comment tribe in the comments if you're not already a member, and I will know to add you to it. And that's where I'm trying to create a group of like-minded people who are very supportive and all have their own passions of what they want to do to change the world, to make it a better place. But by bringing all of us together, I want to create a mastermind for creating those and helping us launch our passions and to build those dreams that we have and make that, the world a better place for everybody. So the more people together, we can do it. I know we can. And one little random tip I wanted to share with you is, I gotta remember it. My random tip for the day. Did I write it down? Oh, here I did. I didn't want to forget this. See, this is why I always forget it. It's my problem. When you're traveling, carry extra batteries and chargers. Okay? No matter how many times I travel, I don't forget to pack my charger. I bring it, but I lose it. I leave the little square in the plug and pull the cord out, or I leave the whole cord somewhere, or I brought only the car charger connection, and so now I'm not in my car and my battery dies. So I highly suggest always take extra batteries for your phone, and extra chargers, cords, and the little squares. So that's my little free tip for you. Personal experience speaking, I've done it enough times, I'm not gonna do that again, so. Hope you guys have a wonderful week. I will check back in for comments that come in after this live, and I look forward to talking with you next week. I will post the link shortly so that you can get a reminder on it and not miss next week's episode. It'll still be Sunday at 7 p.m. and we're going to talk about lessons learned in Oregon. So good night for now, and hope you guys have a fabulous day. Life of Joy on the Voice of Joy videocast episode. Signing off.